Man, oh man, has today been quite a wild day in the world of professional wrestling. Karrion Kross and Scarlett have been moved into the alumni section on WWE.com. Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the pending releases, and then also an NXT star has also been let go today by WWE. Now, I'm going to give you the scoop of what's going on in the world of pro wrestling. An NXT star confirmed on Twitter this morning that he has been let go, and that is Ashanti the Adonis. Ashanti was a part of NXT in 2021, a part of Hit Row with Top Dollar, B Fab, and Isaiah Swerve Scott. I wonder what happened to him. Was released in 2021, came back as one of the first few rehires under the Triple H regime. They were started on SmackDown. Top Dollar ironically got released. And Ashanti then went back down to NXT for the brief tag team with Cedric Alexander. He was in a brief story with Carmen Petrovich until she dumped him, and then we haven't seen him since. I'm not shocked. Is Ashanti the Adonis a good wrestler? Yes. Was he a good heel? No. I'm not surprised by this at all. I felt that NXT had absolutely zero for Ashanti the Adonis. Um, I think he'll end up back on the independent scene. And also, as you know, that there's this TNA WWE partnership. Now, as you probably don't watch TNA like I do, I watch TNA. Casey Navarro got kicked out of first class on Thursday due to an ACL injury. Rich Swann, another name, returned to TNA on Thursday, and he is now back with AJ Francis, as he now goes by in TNA. I can see that as a possibility. I would not mind that a lot. So, as you know, he's got a history with AJ Francis. So, I can possibly see Ashanti the Adonis ended up in TNA, could go back on the independent scene. And as I've said on Max Wrestling, as I'm on most Thursdays, depending on my work schedule, the independent scene is as red hot as it's ever been. You take a look at people on the independent scene, look at the great work Matt Cardona's done. You look at the work that Shotzi Blackheart is doing on the independent scene right now. Shotzi Blackheart is fucking killing it. I think for me, Ashanti's going to be just fine. And then you look at people all crying, saying, "Oh, they shouldn't be released. Shouldn't be released." It's the fucking wrestling business. There are people going to be let go. There are going to be rehired. There's going to be firings, and there's going to be people getting called up from NXT. There's also going to be people from Evolve that's going to be replacing the ones in NXT. And you've got the LFG program as well. So it's literally replenishment every time. He's going to be fine. I can see him ending up in TNA, part of First Class. And when Casey Navarro comes back, when his ACL injury has been healed up, I can see him in a feud with First Class. So, send my wishes to Shanti the Adonis, and I hope he does well wherever he ends up. Now, we're going to go to the biggest topic. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. Man, oh man, oh man. I want to choose my words very, very wisely today. Now, Kross has been wanted on television since way before WrestleMania. And after WrestleMania, when Kross was incredibly over, they wanted him on television, faced Sami Zayn at Night of Champions, lost. Faced Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, lost. Now, Kross came into NXT back in 2020, and he was the undefeated NXT champion until he had to relinquish the title due to injury, and then he won it back in 2021. Kross then appeared on Raw in the summer of 2021. Yes, and I'm about to fucking say this. Karrion Kross lost his first match to Jeff Hardy with a roll up, who was wearing some sort of like a gladiator, uh, like he was wearing suspenders. And that was not the great start to Karrion Kross's career. He did not have the entrance. He didn't have the lighting. He did not have freaking Scarlett until we found out why Scarlett Bordeaux was not with him that time. Kross and Scarlett got released in 2021 as one of Triple H's first hires back. Kross returned in 2022. He was in countless feuds. He was in a feud with Drew McIntyre, in a feud with AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, and then started getting paired up with the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering, one of the greatest managers and the greatest minds in the history of wrestling. Final Testament were then in a feud with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and then nothing. Nothing was done with Karrion Kross. As I said to you, I'm going to choose this very, very wisely. It took you fans, you know who you are. It took you 3 years to get invested of Karrion Kross. Now, I watched Kross since the back end days of TNA. I watched him all of Black and Gold in 2020. The dark times when we were in the pandemic. Let me tell you this. Kross is going to be just fine. You all need to realize that when Kross was coming out on Raw or SmackDown, he was coming out to nothing. No reaction from the crowd, no reaction to nothing, even during the days of the Final Testament when he was with AOP, one of the dangerous tag teams in NXT in the Black and Gold. And as I said to you, Paul Ellering, one of the greatest masterminds in wrestling. Kross is going to be fine. Now, people are all telling me that this is a work. He's been moved to the alumni section. He's going to get re-signed. Kross is done. If Kross was staying, he would have re-signed by now. Why do you think he lost at SummerSlam? Yes, his book got promoted on NXT on Tuesday. That's not the point. He was moved to the alumni section as of this morning, according to Fightful, that they are gone. As it stands. If there's any changes, we will be told. Now, let me ask a lot of people this. You know who you are. There are AEW haters out there. What if Karrion Kross ends up in AEW? Are you all going to be calling him a traitor? What if Karrion Kross debuts at Forbidden Door? What if Karrion Kross debuts on TNA or Resurgence on Friday? That's next week. Are you going to go and support him? You probably fucking won't. Now, I read on Twitter there was some fucking nerd actually put called Triple H a fraud, a ball fraud, and her kids are crying. Her daughter, whoever the fuck, I don't give a shit. All I want people to know is that Karrion Kross is going to be fine. I can see him in AEW or TNA. Bring him back as Killer Kross. Or better yet, put him on the fucking indies. And Kross can go literally murder everyone on the independent scene. Now here's the story for you. Last night, I watched a wrestling show on Twitch. It was Athena's promotion, MXP Wrestling. It was an all-women show. And I fucking enjoyed it from start to finish. Yes, there are men on the product, but it was an all-women show. Scarlett could have fit that show. I watched a lot of matches on that show, and I fucking enjoyed it because I want to take the fucking stench out of that fucking 2 hours of garbage that I watched on Friday called SmackDown. Now, I am going to drop a video at one point this week to give you what is going on with creative in both WWE and AEW. Now, back to Kross. Karrion Kross is going to be just fine. Like I said, there are various destinations. There's TNA with the partnership with WWE. There's AEW. Could you see Kross going to Ring of Honor? Or would you put Kross as an instant main eventer? Because, newsflash, Hangman needs opponents. The only credible heel right now in AEW is MJF. And then you've got MJF with the contract who will face Hangman Adam Page at any time, but yet MJF is going to be facing Hangman anyway. No sense. Lazy creative. Now, if Karrion Kross was to stay in WWE, and if this is all a work, because we don't know after the whole thing with Seth Rollins that we recently had, put the Intercontinental title on Kross. That's all I'll tell you. Would I like Karrion Kross to stay in WWE? Yes. If they use him to his potential. Even if they sent Kross back down to NXT, because Obafemi needs challenges. Scarlett Bordeaux, is she a great valet? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is she a good wrestler? No, she is not good. Fantastic valet, wrestler, she's terrible. I've seen her, she's garbage. Needs a lot more work. But, yeah, and you people are just a bunch of fucking maniacs. And all people telling me, oh, Kross got buried. Kross is done. Support him wherever he goes, but it's AEW. And there's a lot of people who cannot stand AEW. And they'll all say, oh, Kross is debut in front of 1,200 people. What if Kross goes to TNA and debuts at Resurgence on Friday next week in front of 2,300 people? Are you going to go and support him? Exactly. All these fucking fucking drones out there, all they want is everything on a silver platter. They want WWE to be the biggest, have the baddest roster possible. We're going to fit them all. Television time is fucking crucial. And by the way, their creative is just as boring as anything right now. But all I can say to you is support Kross wherever he goes. I urge you to do so. Because if you don't, then you are literally just a bunch of fucking sheep. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's episode. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And I will be dropping a video very soon on my thoughts on creative right now. in wrestling and expressing pure concern. Has Triple H lost his touch? Why is Shawn Michaels out booking Triple H right now in NXT? And why is Tony Khan still so fucking lazy? Anyway, that's it for today's video. Hit that like, subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at JMB434. And I'll see you all later. Bye bye.